Besties, it's your girl Maya.
And it's your girl Desiree.
Hey, welcome back to the Beyhive podcast.
Yes, how are you doing today, Miss Maya?
Doing pretty good. I'm so excited to get in this conversation today because we just seen Beyonce this weekend.
Floor seats.
Literally floor seats. I'm honestly kind of sad that it's over.
Yeah.
Do you still have that same feeling when Renaissance ended and it was that feeling of dang, this is over, what is life?
Yeah, it's because, she left LA, she had 5 shows here and now she's gone. I'm like, oh, that was fun. And
yeah.
I feel like for Renaissance, I went to 2 shows, so it was a little different because I'm like, okay, I have another show to go to. But
True.
Now she's gone and I only went to 1 this time. But I would say the floor seats was an amazing experience. I highly recommend it. I like the floor. Now I'm I don't know if I could ever go back to
yeah.
But I had a good time.
No, it was, I think the energy was definitely it was so lit on the floor. And it's crazy to look at other people's point of views that were sitting higher up. I mean, I even had that experience too because I got to go to 2 shows this time. So I did feel kind of the whole week of that energy of Beyonce is here and the concerts are happening and stuff like that. But so I did have a point of view from the 300s, and it was really cool to see everything in total, the 2 sides, the stage, because the stage lights up. Sorry if we have any spoilers. You guys are watching it on TikTok.
Yeah.
If anything. So we can talk about it.
Y'all clicked on the video, so you know.
Right.
I guess if you don't know, spoiler alert, because we're going to be talking about the show, what we saw. It's so funny though, because before the show, or the one I went to, which is May 9th, she had 4, it was the last one. So she had 4 shows before that, and I was trying to dodge everything I saw on TikTok, Instagram.
That had to be a long week.
It was so long. I was I stayed off my phone. Actually, it was a good detox for me. I wasn't on my phone as much, but when I did see something, and I think my algorithm could even knew it because I wasn't seeing as much. And anytime I did, I'm no, and I would Beyonce, I love you, but I don't want any spoilers, so I would scroll past it. But I did see some things, I was so annoyed because I was on Threads and someone did the set list. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Damn. And I knew she was going to start off with American Requiem, but I was trying to be delusional. I'm okay, maybe not, maybe she'll switch it up, or pretend I didn't see all that. But I'm glad I made it through because I was surprised with the show, with some things that she had. When she brought back Renaissance.
Oh, yeah.
When she said, welcome back to the Renaissance, I said, I didn't know she was going to do this. And then she did
that was a moment.
I was doing the choreography when she went back to Renaissance. I loved it.
Yeah. No, that, I didn't see too much of that either. I guess it was only the second show, but after the first show, it was so much content. I'm y'all, people are literally live streaming it.
That's crazy.
I'm dang, there's no way to escape it. So I honestly was I just need to stay off the internet for a couple of days because I went to the second show on May 1st. I'm I just need to stay off for a couple of days, but of course I still had some spoilers because again, the algorithm is showing. I was looking at Cowboy Carter outfits, getting so much beforehand, so it was my algorithm was already set up to show.
They're are we gonna show you all this? You know what's interesting? It seemed like she had less outfit changes this time and the same ones for each show. Because in Renaissance she was coming out with different.
Oh yeah, every night.
Every night she came out with a new opening outfit, and even for each diva she had different outfits, but this time they were all the same, which I was surprised by. But this lady has not rested because she had even last year she had to be rehearsing for this. So you telling me she rehearsed for Renaissance, then she went on that tour, then she rehearsed for Cowboy Carter, and now she's on this tour. But I'm I wonder if she's doing it all I don't know. That lady's mine. But I'm she has not rested.
When does she rest for real?
When? How does she do all that? She got 3 children and everything, and But that's something that stuck out to me. But I want to know, like, what was, or do you have like a favorite part of it? Or
I have a few. I really liked the biggest, the largest.
That visual.
That one was so good because it's like a play off this really really old like horror film. I think it's even like a picture of it when she drives by the movie theater. It's like the attack of like the 40-foot woman or something. It's like a really really old movie from the, I don't know, 1950s, 1940s.
What connection is that? Because, you know, she always be making, like, these little connections or, like, so intentional. And I'm like, wait, what does this all mean?
Yeah. No, I seen a really crazy one where someone was, like, breaking down kind of, like each city's ties to, like, big Black, like, cultural moments. And it's, like, aligned with, like, the dates that these events occurred. That's gonna be a different tangent, but another favorite moment was when Blue Ivy did the Deja Vu choreography. And hold on, everyone was talking about like her walk out.
Baby.
This is her at like 13, so I can't even imagine what she's going to be giving us when she's like fully like a teenager, a young adult, like
20, like our age.
Yeah.
She's gonna be her mama, because her mama started off like that early, and we see how she's doing. But when she walked off, because she threw her hat off, and she's like, I said, wow.
I'm like, they need to get her into modeling. If that's what she wants to do.
She would gonna eat the girls up. I'm sorry, but all y'all's careers gonna end, because once Blue Ivy enters, it's over. But she's so beautiful, and just to see her like growing up is like
so crazy.
I don't know. I feel like probably like big sis or like auntie, like, oh, look at little Blue. She's even like grown, like even from the last tour. Like, she was like only 11 or something. I'm like, wow, like now she's 13. Like she's like remember being 13? It's like I'm a teenager and I'm like, like getting onto stuff and like makeup. I even seen like a video of her like doing her grandma's Tina Knowles eyebrows and everything. I'm like, okay, she's making her family right, you know. And then Rumi comes out, and it's so funny to see like how like the first time. Okay, think about that though. Like, I don't know how old she is, but she's a kid. Like, and she not so scared at all. She was like, hey.
she loved it.
She loved it. And you can see Beyonce like, what did I do? Like
that's not what we rehearsed.
Now she's, right. It seemed like the first couple of times she came out, I don't know if she like, she just seemed really excited. Yeah. And I'm like, did she have choreography that like maybe she just like forgot?
Yeah,
she just like so like
she like does it a little bit too. Like there's like little points that she hits where it's like, okay, maybe there is choreography, but then she just gets so excited and it's like she doesn't end up doing it.
But that's how you know that's how you know Beyonce is her mama, because she's like fearless, like she's not scared of the stage. I'm like, wow, at that little age, and she's just like so excited to see everybody. And it's so funny because like Blue's like the big sis, like, okay, like come on, like Jill, like, you know, Miss Manager over there, managing everybody.
Those allegations,
for
sure. Did
you see that one video of her? She like Beyonce was singing Before I Let You Go, and she was like,
she's like,
okay, yeah, so we heard good, because you gonna mess up, I was gonna take that mic away.
She said, okay, I like what I'm hearing.
Right. I wasn't sure if she was doing that to Beyonce or like to the crowd. Yeah. You know, but I was like, I even seen like a little poster that someone said like, dear Manager Blue, I love the show. It is so funny. I'm like, no, she is her little bossy Capricorn self. I love it.
She's so cute. What were your favorite moments?
Everything. Okay. I can't even choose. I did. Okay. Also because it felt like a dream. Like there's some stuff I'm like I can't even like remember. Like I don't. I was just so like in awe. Like but oh my gosh, let me calm down. I want to start being roomy. Like oh my gosh. When she did say like welcome back to the Renaissance, I love that part because it was gold. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm messing with, because I'm sorry, that whole silver, like I only did it because Beyonce, because I'm not a silver girly. I love me my gold. So when she came out with that, I was like, oh shit, she's bringing it back. Like that was good, and I knew the choreography, so I was like, yes, and I was doing all the choreography. Even to like Alien Superstar and everything.
Yeah.
I was like,
I love that part of it too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then 16 Carriages, I like that one too.
Yeah.
Because the interview that she showed before of like her whole career.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
that
it made
was a good one.
It was almost, it was like emotional. I'm like, wow, like she's been doing this forever. And she even started off, I didn't even know this at the time, but people pointed out like she, I think she put like each time she was nominated for Album of the Year and didn't win.
Oh, she did like, have those in there.
Yeah. And then even like I think when like she didn't win, was it like Star Search with Girls Time, that group she did when she was younger, like all the time she lost, and even like the time when she performed at the CMAs and everything, and like then she fast forward to like now, and it's just like now she's like this big like Beyonce entertainer, and like she's got like what 20 plus 25 years in the game, and it just made me like, wow, like this woman, I have loved this woman her whole career. Like her whole career has been my whole life. And thinking about like everything that she's done, and seeing her go around the car, that was really nice. And then
I like that a lot too.
And then at the very end, so the very end there was like less security guards, so like you can walk down the aisle more. So where I was, like we were on the floor, but I was like more in the back rows, like row 29, and there weren't as much security guards, and I'm like, okay, this is my chance to like just get as close as I can.
Possible,
And she was walking down, she was singing her last song, which was Amen, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. So I just like walked myself up. It felt like a dream. I felt like I was walking on clouds. I was like, Beyonce.
I can't.
And so like seeing her closer, I still am like, she's real, but like I don't know. I was just like, that's her. Because I feel like anytime I would get a glance, like when she would come closer, it would always be like the back of her, like the side. And so I got a better view that time, and I was like, whoa, that's her.
It did feel crazy to like actually be able to see her like that close up too. I mean, I definitely still had to like find little parts where I could like get a good view, but surprisingly I was able to, especially when it like first started. A good amount of people that were supposed to sit in front of me weren't there yet, and so I was able to like actually see her without struggling. I feel like I got some good videos too. When I think of like comparison of like for Renaissance, I was really in like the nosebleeds, so that was like a huge jump to actually like see.
Even in the because I was in the 200s, and then I was in the 100s, but on the side. For the two times I went with oh my gosh, the two times I went during Renaissance, but I had iPhone XR, so my quality wasn't the best. This time I have upgraded, but I did like this view better than the other times that I went. Well, either time I was still excited, but I'm like, I'm not gonna like this the first time I've seen Beyonce, and I'm like, it was the third time technically, but I feel like
it's an experience for sure.
So now I'm like, next time I gotta get into like the pits somehow, like that would be like ideal, or like just I just wondering like how that experience would go, because I didn't know like there was, because like again, like when I walked up more, I did see like a section, but there were security guards there, so like I couldn't get in there. But it seemed like there was what we call like the hoedown section.
Oh yeah, there was like different names for them.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh hey, like you could get even closer, because one thing I would have liked to see her do more was come over to our side more, like walk down our side, which that's something that I noticed. It seems like she didn't walk around as much as she did for Renaissance.
Yeah,
that stage was big though, because even being on the floor, I'm like, damn, she's still like kind of far. Like,
yeah, the stage is huge.
Depending where she's at, like when she's like by the screen, I'm like, damn, I feel like she's like far, you know. And then I feel like she spent her time more there, and then like the very tip of the stage, in the center though. So I'm like, maybe next time I need to get like the center.
Yeah, that was like more so where I was able to see her too, when she went to the edge. Because where I was sitting, because I'm still like to the right side, but I was like on the last few seats towards the the middle. So that was like my best view, especially the she ain't no diva.
Oh, wait, they put.
I was happy to be able to like actually see that. It's so funny when I went the first time. I have this video on my phone. And I was like doing the point, and I'm like, she ain't no diva. And you can hear my coworker like, who are you pointing at? Like, she was so confused. Yes, that was actually an experience too, like going with my coworkers, and like they're not the biggest Beyonce fans, but I'm like, no, I love this album down. And so it was like, if like everyone was just so they were like, they thought it was so funny, like my reaction to everything. I'm like, oh, this is my song. Like I remember because we were in like the 300 section, but we were the very first row, so it was no one in front of us at all. So we were able to like sit down at first, like, you know, American Requiem, just like chill, like but when Yaya came on, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm standing up. They got a kick out of that. I was like, oh, this is my song. Like, yeah, I
like that part. I like how she mixed it with Why Don't You Love Me.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, because I had never seen her. I don't think she performed that in Renaissance. Yeah, but I'm like, wait, this is actually one of the songs. I'm like, I'm glad I got to see her perform.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that one either.
Why don't you love me?
Yeah.
Tell me, baby.
I will say though, I do love that she got into Sasha Fierce too, because people say like she never really performed.
Oh yeah, If I Were.
Yeah, and she didn't do Halo. What am I? Oh, she did Irreplaceable. That's not Sasha Fierce, but I feel like we didn't hear that in Renaissance either.
That's interesting. Because I'm glad she did that, because thinking about like that era, I'm like, I was a kid, so like I didn't go to any of the concerts at that time, obviously, but so I'm glad she brought it back, because I feel like for the people who didn't get to, like, never saw her perform, like from that album, can I get a little taste of it now? Yeah. So I like that. It wasn't until after the concert, but I'm like, wait, she didn't do Drunken Love.
Oh, yeah. Wow, she didn't. But she didn't do that for every show on Renaissance either. I mean, yeah, for Renaissance, we just got lucky that we were in LA, because I think it was like, there was like the big 3 songs, which I don't remember what they were, but it was like Drunken Love, All Up in Your Mind, and one more.
Thick. That's that Thick. That's that
maybe.
And people said Justice for Thick. And she did do Thick, and
she did all 3 of those. Oh yeah, she did. But on Renaissance, she was able to do all 3 of those.
Actually, when she came, so on the stage, oh my gosh, on the stage, there's this little salon area. It has like sacred everything, and she teases like bills, and then but she's also singing Thick, and I love that, because when she was over there, I got to see her more. Like anytime she was like on that side of the stage, or even in the center at the tip, that was a good view. But I just thought like she looked so fine. Like, wow, she's so sexy, and I love it. She did look really good. I just feel like that's like something I wanted to get into. I guess like what you could take away from like Cowboy Carter, and like the visuals, or the overall like message, you know. And I'm just like, wow, to be Black is just so divine, and like we're just so fucking fly and beautiful and sexy. Yeah, like that's what I got from it. And I just love that Beyonce, like, she does it in such a tasteful way of just being like so sexy. Like that's the only way I can put it. Yeah. And I like that interlude where like she was seducing herself, and people are like, okay, Beyonce, when you gonna come out that you buy? Like just tell us, like you might be a little study on say. That
is actually crazy, considering she's been married to that man for a minute.
A long time. A long periodically time. But yeah. Man. But what did you like? Did you take away anything from it, or like any like either like the visuals, this music, like?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I'm still processing it, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Like I think, and then because we really got the first rounds of them, but we're gonna be in this era for like a cool little minute. But I think when things start to unfold a little bit about like what, you know, what it means and like the space and stuff, it may come to me. But as of right now, I'm still just like in awe of the fact that we got to experience that. Like, it was such a great show. It was so well like put together, and I feel like after the concert, I even had like more of an appreciation for the album. Like, I was listening to it a lot more before the concert, and I'm like, wow, this is so good. And usually, I feel like my favorite albums are all albums that needed a second to simmer with me a little bit. Because
you think more than Renaissance?
I don't know if I liked it more than Renaissance, but I feel like Renaissance. I was talking about this with my niece, but like Renaissance was really for like everybody else. It was like a feel good album. How she even said like she felt like all the shit we went through with COVID and, you know, like the political climate, like we needed to just dance and feel free. Like that was for everybody. But I think this album, and maybe that kind of goes into like what I took away from the concert a little bit, but this feels so personal to her. Like a lot of the songs, she has the song where she brings out, what is it, Protector, and it's like for Rumi, and like having Blue is like literally one of the dancers.
This time it's not just like one little part, like she's in it like quite a bit.
I feel like this is something that was like really personal for her, and then even just things associated with it, like Sacred was a sponsor, which actually that's tea that her brands were sponsors for.
She is a business
tour
woman.
That her production company is putting on. Like, you know how that's some real boss ass shit. You're on your own tour through your own production company, and your businesses are your sponsors for it. Like this endless loop of like, okay, she's making money. But anyway, I digress. Like, it just like Sir Davis being like a part of her family's lineage, and Sacred and her mom having a salon, and her daughters are on tour and she's singing these songs about experiences that she had in her life. And then kind of going back to the interlude where it's like the different periods and different times of like when she was younger to now. I'm like, it just feels like this is something she needed to do for herself and her like history and lineage.
Yep, she was like, what was that? It kind of reminds me of that one lyric in 16 Carriages. If it's the last thing I'll do, you'll remember me. Cause we got nowhere to go. Oh my gosh, that was like emotional song.
Yes, that album is so emotional too. Like it's even like it's. Have you been listening to it since after the tour?
Actually, so for some reason I haven't been listening to it. I almost kind of like, I don't know, I just like wanted to go in with like, I just like wanted to just see how the concert like all unfolds and everything. So I wasn't like listening to Cowboy Carter. I was listening to like a little bit like my favorite songs, like I Love Yaya or Desert Eagle. Oh yeah. I don't know, I really love like those little like sexy songs. Like I feel like the Desert Eagle, Kitty Cat, and Blow are all like
women songs.
Yeah, like those are my kind of songs. Like I love when Beyonce talks about like that kind of stuff. It is so funny. I saw this one post of like, why y'all so proud? Beyonce been telling us she over here throwing it back with her husband. Like,
no, my niece barely learned like the day of the concert that in Two Hands to Heaven she says, and when I get up to walk, I want to feel weak.
Yeah,
she said that.
Same Beyonce.
She was like, that lady is freaked out.
Oh, she is. Beyonce, if you listen to Blow or like what's that one song? It's about Give Me a Kiss on My Lips, but she's not talking about the lips on her face.
Oh yeah, and that's a Desert Eagle too. She's like, soft kisses on some fat lips.
Beyonce.
That's like exactly where my mind goes to. Just because what she was saying before, it's not coming to me now, but I just know like, okay, that's the context.
Oh no, give me a kiss on my lips and show me like a good touch.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what I was about.
Yeah. Man, but no, I think because she's so freaking like, she doesn't talk to us anymore. She doesn't do interviews. Like, she's very, very, very private. I really appreciate when she opens up in her music. And I think right now where I am, because my favorite songs kind of change on the album. I really love the slow, vulnerable songs right now. Like I was telling, telling my niece, yes, Just for Fun is like one of my favorite songs right now. And she's like, it's so slow. It's the one that I skipped. I'm like, no, okay.
But the concert, I liked it.
Yes, you go back and listen to it after the concert. Even during the concert, I'm like, it low-key made me want to cry because it's like, towards the end of the song, she's saying something and she's like, I just need to get through this. Like I need to get through this. I could get through this. Like, it gives me gospel. It really gives me gospel.
I can say that.
Yeah, I definitely recommend like when you go to the concert, rerun through the album before. Hear it live because the live songs really make you like appreciate it more. And then run it back again. It's like, damn, this is a good album.
Can we get a live album this time too? That would be nice.
Oh yeah,
that's what I wanted for Renaissance.
Oh yes, that would have been cool. Even the movie, but
can we get it on streaming? Okay, people were saying it was a rumor though because no one said anything about like not being able to film on the floor, but some people were saying like, oh, it was rumored that like Netflix was there and everything, and like people couldn't film on the floor. But I'm like, no, you could definitely film. Like I have hella videos, but like I guess someone who works there, which hopefully they didn't lose their job for saying this, but I guess it was rumored allegedly that Netflix was there. And I'm like, I did see like a lot of cameras, but like that's kind of like just how Beyonce usually do. Like there's always a lot of cameras to get like different views and everything of the stage because it's a big ass stage, like multiple cameras and a lot of smoke. Actually, that was one thing. Nothing like I did not like kind of like where I was sitting, like it was a little bit in the back of like I guess the smoke machine. So what was it like when she came out? I was like, damn, like I can barely see.
Oh yeah.
It was like a lot of smoke, but the way she came out though too, I was like, well,
right, it was so dramatic.
Let me sing my song. Right, I was like, oh, she not playing. So that was amazing. And you know, something that also stuck out to me, like for me personally, like when she has that interlude that I was talking about earlier of like her different eras and everything, and made me realize like, wow, like I really have been a fan of hers for so long, because like I sort of like each picture I'm like, yep, I remember that one, where that was from. That's that crazy. Album, like just different, like I can remember like being in that time, like actual time of like when we like the earlier years. But yeah, I could just remember like where I was when I'm like, oh yeah, when she was in that era, like her Sasha Fierce or like her Beyonce, Lemonade, like remembering like in real time of where I was in that moment. And it reminded me of like why I'm such a big fan of Beyonce. Like she, like growing up, I didn't have a lot of I feel like representation of like a Black woman, you know, and so I feel like that's why I gravitated towards her so much, and just to see like how successful she is and like how much of like a boss she is, and I'm like, wow, like I don't know, like it just was like I guess a sentimental moment for me. I feel like I'm not articulating it like the way how I feel, like it's so deep, but it was like, again, like each like era, I was like, I literally have been following this woman's career like my whole life. That's like, to have a career that long as like someone's life right now, like I'm 27, y'all, like this woman has been here since I was born. Like,
that's so crazy, rare,
you know.
No, that's really rare, because like, I mean, there's some great artists, but it's always like a time period you can like tie them back to. Very, very few people can you have like different decades like in their career. So it's like, that's true, almost insane that pretty soon like she's approaching like 30 years into the industry and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I mean, I haven't been a fan as long as you have. but it does make me emotional to think about like what she represents out of her just being Beyonce. Like she's really representative of just like, you know, it's so many things. It almost makes me emotional, but just having like a representation of a Black woman and like her and her struggles and how she's been able to persevere, but also just like her being a black person in general and being one of the biggest artists like ever, let's be real. So many different things. Her being from like the South and like having those Southern roots and like kind of being like a little like torn apart for that, and then like getting so mainstream and going back to like her roots, and it's so many things that I feel like people don't necessarily have to be a Beyonce fan or the biggest fan, but there needs to be some level of respect for like what she means to us culturally. Like we need to protect like culture. We need to be protecting our black artists and entertainers. And I think sometimes it can be a little like things get a little messy when it's like, oh, it's the rich versus the poor and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when you think about like where her roots and where she's come from, like that's an amazing story, and that's not just a win for her, but that's a win for us that like things are possible. Like it may be hard to get there to like be to that level, because it's, you know, again, it's really rare that happens for everyone, but that should be some kind of like hope and some kind of like, you know, an example of like, oh shit, like if I work hard and, you know, you're doing something you love, like there's a possibility you can be where you want to be, not just like music wise, but just in life. And that's really what she means. Like Beyonce, seeing Beyonce makes me feel like I can do anything. Right.
Like, it reminds me of that one, like when people say like, oh, she's the Beyonce of marketing, or she's the Beyonce of like whatever you do, you can be the Beyonce of that. Yeah. You know? So as a culture, I feel like we all know how hard it is already for us. Yeah. And like, yes, not everyone's perfect. Like Beyonce isn't perfect. Like when you're talking about like the whole like oh my gosh, when you were talking about the rich versus poor, I guess like classism and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's like, why are we so hard on each other? Like we already know how hard it is. Yeah, exactly. Like, and now that Beyonce's mom's on tour for her book, you learn a lot about like even her history and like how just where they come from and everything. And it to me, I feel like it all like connects and makes sense of like why Beyonce the way she is, and like how successful she is, and like, you know, her family didn't start off like rich. Like her mom's parents were very poor, as she tells us, and then she grew up in Galveston, Texas. Yeah. And like how they had to like work their way up, and it seemed like for future generations, you know. And then now you have Beyonce, who's Beyonce, and everything. And I don't know, it's like I think two things can be true at once, for sure. You know, because that is real, like classism and everything, and like capitalism, and at the same time, it's like, but the representation though, and like I'm like, what am I trying to say here? But
it's like a beautiful. It's kind of like they didn't have it easy to get there at all, and so that's why it should be almost like it should be something that we commend and celebrate, because like where they came from, like a lot of people start there, but not everyone ends up being like
there. I feel like it's still worthy to celebrate, especially for our culture, even though like it might not be a perfect example, or there's still some things like we could get into about like classism and everything, but at the same time, it's, to me, like it's impressive and it's inspirational that like her family has come a long way. And even Tina talks about it, because I've been watching her interviews of like how in the beginning, like she was mama bear and saying like trying to protect Beyonce, or like speaking up for her of like her earlier career, of how like it wasn't easy. Like Beyonce had to fight for her career, and it wasn't promised that she was going to become beyond, like the Beyonce that we knew.
It didn't happen overnight at all.
And she had to argue. Okay, one thing I want to say is Tina was saying that she was yelling at, not yelling, but she had to talk to like the production people of like, well, you know, I don't know much about lighting. You know, she's a country woman with her strong country accent, like telling these people in high places like, well, you guys aren't lighting they're black girls, like there's a way you should be lighting them and it doesn't look right, and no, like we don't want it this way. And she said that she taught both her daughters to like always speak up for themselves, especially when it comes to their art, you know, and have that voice. And it's like other people like trying to discredit like Beyonce or like any famous or successful like black person. There was like that one time where people were like trying to say something like the Illuminati, like that's the only reason why like Beyonce, like other black celebrities are like as successful as they are. Yeah. And it's like, well, why when it comes to like our to us, like we have to have like sold our soul to be successful. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like that still kind of goes back down to like representation. Like when you don't see it a lot, it's like questionable.
They have to like, oh, like they're either they slept with somebody or they did something to like get to where they were. And it's like it could have just been from like pure hard work. Yeah. You know. And a little bit of luck. I mean, you know, that also does play into it as well, and like resources and things like that. But I don't know, I just like maybe because I'm such a big Beyonce fan, and like when I just see other black people like try to tear her down, I'm like, what? Like, come on now.
Yeah. I hate that same like I hate that same idea, which I was saying, like we need to celebrate, but yeah, we're just in an era right now where there's like so many people are going through it, and this younger generation are like, I mean, we're still like generations away from everything happening, but this younger generation like gets to grow up with certain privileges that even we didn't have as kids, and we're young, you know, so yeah, it's just like with time things are changing and stuff like that. It's really interesting to experience, but yeah, no, I completely agree. Like she's somebody that we need to like celebrate and give her flowers like while she's here, and what she like symbolically means to the community, to our community, and like even us personally, which is why we have this podcast in the first place.
Actually that reminded me, like the podcast I feel like is a space for us to come and like talk about something we got in common, which is the love for Beyonce, and be uplifting, you know, with it. And I feel like it is in a way like really inspirational, at least for me, like discussing things like this, because it's just a reminder of like, or you know, like when you leave a concert, like you're on this high, like anything is possible. You know, that's how I felt. I just felt like, for sure, I just feel like that, like wow, like I just want to go like 10 times harder in like what I'm doing. And I had that same, it was like a reset of that feeling when I left Cowboy Carter. So that's, I feel like that's the feeling I'm left with right now. It's just like I just want to freaking be like on my boss shit, like, you know.
Yeah, because like that show was so insane, like it was so good. And it's just so crazy that like she's really gang, like she's a black woman, and we got to see that and experience that and see how many people love her and appreciate her, and being in those spaces with other people of different backgrounds. Like that is something like not everyone's able to do. Like that was such a diverse crowd of people.
It was. No, think about it.
Like so many different people from everywhere, like making friends with people just off of the simple, like having love for her and loving music and stuff like that. So yeah, no, she needs to be appreciated, because one day we're not going to get this, and it's like, dang.
No, because
crazy.
I don't want to think about that.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, we're really gonna be old, and Beyonce's gonna be old, and it's like we're gonna be telling kids. Oh, we're gonna be telling kids about her.
When I first saw her, it was 2023, and I was there for the Renaissance, and I was there.
Literally, like how our parents like, oh, you can't tell me nothing about so and so. Like, it's really gonna be like.
I'm actually excited to share that story one day with the next generation of my family. Yeah. Because if they ask me like, how were the 20s? Oh my god, that's crazy. Like, what were you
2020s?
The 2020s. I'm like, oh, sit down, baby, because I got stories for you. Because this woman, When did Renaissance come out? 2022?
Yeah.
It's 2025. Like, she's gonna be majority of the sound of the 20s. Like,
for sure.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell it now. Shoot, I got a little niece. Like, I be telling her. I think I told her like I'm gonna go see Beyonce.
Oh yeah.
She's like, you are. I'm like, yeah. I'm really excited.
I definitely can't wait to be able to tell my niece like, baby, this is Beyonce. Like,
right. Oh no, I'm already
even
with my little baby nieces. I'm pulling a picture. This is Beyonce. Okay, get a good look at her because you are a fan by default because you're my niece. So.
It was really cute to also see like the baby Beyhive kids too. Like, it was some little girl, like all the TikTok videos, she knew all the songs down. Like,
really? That would be.
I'm like, wow, this is so cute. I love that.
I think I saw something of like a dad took his daughter to see Cowboy Carter and she was 3. She's like, hi, my name is so and so. Or there was a poster and she's like, my name's such and such. I'm 3 years old and this is my first concert. I'm like, wow, that's a flex. Like, when she gets asked, what was your first concert?
Right.
Beyonce. Girl. I was Demi Lovato, I think. Which at the time,
okay,
I liked her. Like, she
had hits.
She could sing. She could sing. But,
yeah. This was a really, like, I'm still in shock that it's over, but I'm excited that, like, okay, we got it first, so we get to still kind of live through it as, like, she goes on tour.
Yes, now I'm like, oh, now I can finally look and, like, watch stuff.
For sure. And I'm like, I don't think I necessarily have preference on seating, but the next tour, like, it has to be a trip. Like, I want to go out of state somewhere else.
Might have to. Is she has a residency?
Yeah, we'll see. But
just
y'all, if you don't have your tickets already, I highly suggest you start looking and start getting it together because this is a must-see tour.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I liked it better than Renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had. Yeah, I mean, but both shows were amazing. But I don't know. I feel like something about this one, I really like. Again, like Harry said, like we're still like processing it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think I like this one.
Okay.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Not a lot more. No. It's hard to say.
It's hard. It is hard.
But I like. I don't know. It's because like where we sat. I just feel like the experience just was. I don't know, it just like flowed well. I just loved it. Yeah.
It's also like a different time, different era, different age too.
Well, y'all, we could talk all day about this concert, but we are coming to an end. So make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, TikTok. What else? TikTok. Instagram, TikTok, Threads.
Yes, and listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast. We're dropping bi-weekly, so be on the lookout for the next episode.
Yeah.
And make sure you get your ticket, see that show, because you're gonna regret it if you don't.
Right.
TikTok isn't giving you the real.
Because some of y'all said you regret seeing not. Oh my God. Some of y'all said you regret not seeing Renaissance. So if that was you, this is another chance. Because again, she does do a little snippet of Renaissance on this one.
Yeah. Anyways, see you guys next time. Like and subscribe.
Smash the like button. Okay.
Bye.